Well, it's stupid because I should have done
My Lords, I feel sure that all your lordships will have learned with great regret of my noble friend Lord Whitelaw's resignation from his post as Lord President and Leader of the House. However, it is good news that my noble friend is making a speedy recovery, and I am sure that all your lordships send him and Lady Whitelaw our best wishes for the future. Now, my right honourable friend, the Prime Minister, has already paid tribute to Lord Whitelaw's work in government, where over many years his contribution has been unique. But it is as leader of this House that we will miss him the most, and I am sure that your lordships will wish me to pay particular tribute now to him in that role. Viscount Whitelaw became leader of your lordship's House following the general election of 1983. And so quickly did he identify with our conventions and procedures that it seemed he'd been here for many years. But of course, in fact, he had behind him years of experience in the Whip's office and as leader of another place and as a senior minister. But his swift adjustment to the leadership of your lordship's House was nonetheless remarkable. As leader, he was always available to talk about any matter, and we all benefited, I think, from the wisdom of his advice and the spirit of comradeship with which he invested his work here. The pressures of business meant that his task as leader was not always easy, but the regard in which he was held by your lordships and the strength of his relations with the other party leaders enabled him to steer our proceedings with a sure touch. His tact, diplomacy, and grasp of procedure, and above all, his unfailing good humour, always ensured that our business was conducted courteously, efficiently, and above all, effectively. My lords, after a maiden speech, it's often the custom to express the hope that a new speaker will be heard again in the future frequently, and it's a custom which can be used on other occasions. I am delighted to hear that Lord Whitelaw intends to continue to play an active part in our proceedings, and that, I believe, would be the wish of all your lordships.
Lords, the House will be grateful to the noble Lord Belstead, for making that statement. We were all sad to learn yesterday that the noble Viscount, Lord Whitelaw, had decided to retire from office, although we fully appreciated his reasons for doing so. The noble Viscount has served his country with distinction in a number of high offices and in opposition, and as the noble Lord Belstead has just said, he was without doubt an outstanding leader of this House. He is a man for all seasons. He took account of the views of all parties. He listened carefully and made strenuous efforts to be patient. We shall miss him greatly, and we are delighted to know that he is making a good recovery, and all of us look forward to seeing him back here. We send our very best wishes to the noble Viscount and to Lady Whitelaw. We also congratulate the noble Lord Belstead, who now succeeds him. He has had long experience in many offices, and of course as deputy leader here. As he embarks upon his new duties, he knows that there are choppy seas ahead. And of course, I would like to assure him that when he needs constructive advice, we shall be very glad to give it to him. We wish him a stimulating and interesting tenure of office.
My lords, it is both a hard task and an easy task to pay tribute to Lord Whitelaw as he resigns as leader of your lordship's House. It is a hard task because we are all going to miss him very much indeed. We are extremely sorry to see him going, and especially sorry because of the reason which causes him to resign. But it is an easy task to pay a tribute because, and this is not always the case, we can have no reservations whatsoever in saying that we in the opposition parties have found him an exceptional leader of your lordship's house. We recognise that he put first of all the proper conduct of political business, which he realised was of paramount importance, not only for his party, but also for the country. He believed that that was best served by total loyalty to his party and to his government. But he also believed that it required that the opposition should pay its part properly, and he always enabled us to be a proper opposition and to listen to the things that we had to say. He was an extremely generous leader to the opposition, giving us a fair hearing and fair recognition of what we did. I remember on one occasion when my colleague, the noble Lord Tordorf, had won a relatively minor amendment. The noble Lord Whitelaw came across and said, "I couldn't think of a single argument to use against you." That, my lords, is the kind of thing which greatly endears a leader of the government to the opposition parties. Similarly, my lords, I have heard him say, when you have defeated us, sometimes it was because we didn't get our act together. Sometimes it was because we were wrong. That endears him even more to the opposition parties. My lords, we greatly grieve that he is leading us. But may I say to the noble Lord Belstead, and we recognise that it is not an easy task to follow such as Lord Whitelaw, and to follow him at a time when, as we all know, there are extremely controversial measures coming to your lordship's house, that if, as I am sure will be the case, he will deal as fairly and squarely with the opposition parties as did Lord Whitelaw, then we, with him, will do everything we can to make your lordship's house do the job that it has to do of responsible government and responsible opposition.
My lords, from this bench, I would also like to follow my noble friend in expressing our regret that the noble Viscount has had to give up his activity in this House. He was an outstanding leader, both for his combination of tact and effectiveness. And these two qualities, I think, made him an outstanding leader of this House. My lords, although we regret the decision that he has taken, I think that most of us will agree that he has been right to listen to his doctors. And we all look forward to seeing him again not in his accustomed place, but lending his counsels to the conduct of this House. My lords, to the noble Lord Belstead, we would also like to convey our congratulations too. We would like to wish him luck in his new office, but not too much luck on every occasion. But he can certainly count on all reasonable cooperation from these benches.
My lords, we on the crossbenches would of course like to be associated with all the tributes that have already been expressed by the parties to the noble Viscount Lord Whitelaw. But we would like to add our own especial thanks for his understanding of the problems of procedure and customs of the House and how they affect those sitting on these benches. It's not possible at this stage to estimate his loss, not only to this House, but also to the nation. But we do hope that our loss will be his family's gain for a very long time. Also, we would like to welcome the noble Lord Belstead, who is both well known in this House and well liked by us all. My lords, we do not expect him to be a second Lord Whitelaw, because we know that he will bring his own personality, experience and skills to the House, and we wish him well in the arduous task and congratulate him on his appointment as leader of the House of Lords.
My lords, may I also from these benches add one word on this issue on which your Lordship's House is, I think, completely united. We shall all greatly miss Lord Whitelaw, and of all the many grounds for missing him, I think above all there is this one, that there has been, certainly in my recollection, no leader of this House who has enjoyed so much affection from your Lordships as did Lord Whitelaw. We shall be delighted to see him back here when he feels fit to come, but in the meanwhile do wish to send our very best wishes to him and to his family, and at the same time to join in the good wishes and congratulations to my noble friend Lord Belstead, who has a particularly difficult job in following a leader of the House of such distinction.
My Lords, may I from the episcopal benches add a word of thanks to the noble Lord, Lord Whitelaw, for all that he has done in this House. We have appreciated enormously the work that he has done as leader, and I personally have appreciated enormously the friendship that he has given to so many members of this House, not least myself. We feel a profound sorrow that he is no longer to be the leader of this House, but we would like to add our word of thanks and gratitude to him, not least adding to the word which the noble Lord, Lord Boyd-Carpenter has spoken, that is to say, the affection in which he is held. We add our word of congratulation to Lord Belstead, and we from these benches will not promise our unswerving allegiance to him, but we will do all that we can in cooperation.
Lords, may I just add one word, speaking as an older man. To my very great surprise, I found I was 10 years the noble Lord Seear. Now he has resigned, and resigned on doctor's advice. May I just say this, doctor's advice is wrong about 4 times out of 5. When in 3 or 4 years' time, he finds that his doctor's advice is wrong, I hope he will come back. He resigned as Deputy Prime Minister. Well, we've had too many best Prime Ministers who never was. Perhaps in a few years' time he'll return and be Prime Minister. He's quite young enough for the job.
My Lords, may I thank your Lordships for the kind personal words which have been spoken, and may I in particular thank all the noble Lords who have spoken for what has been said about Lord Whitelaw. On the occasion of his resignation, as you can guess, my feelings are mixed, and possibly are those of your Lordships also. But of one thing I am certain. The interests of this House are all important, and must be a prime duty of the leader. And in this I know that I have the support of the leaders of the other political parties, and indeed of noble lords on the crossbenches and on the bishops' benches as well. And now, my lords, the House has a very great deal of work to do. I welcome to the government front bench my noble friend Lord Ferrers, who has also become deputy leader of your Lordship's House. I also welcome the move of my noble friend Lord Caithness to the Department of the Environment, and there we will do our best to debate with your Lordships on the matters which come before us in the months ahead. But meanwhile, I thank your Lordships for words which I am sure Lord and Lady Whitelaw will very greatly appreciate.
The Lord Chair.
My Lord, I beg to ask the question standing on my name on the order paper.
My Lords, LRT employed about 42,800 people at the beginning of December